Hello guys, welcome on here today. It's a wonderful and a very bright day out here. If you're joining us for the very first time, please do to like, share, and hit the subscribe button. If you have been joining us, you have been following us for a while now, thank you and keep up the good work. So guys, today our beds are still doing very well. This is the 13th week of our bed so far. We're actually going well. We actually scaled our bed yesterday and they're actually increasing in weight compared to the previous week, but we have not actually gotten the weekly weight, like the weekly weight for this week. We have not actually gotten that size. Our beds are supposed to be about 1.2 kg, but currently our beds are 1 kg, scaling them individually, and some about 0.92, but the total average weight of the total flock is about 0.92. Yes, scaling them individually, they're actually 1 kg per bed, 1.1 kg per bed. So guys, on today's video, that's by the way, on today's video we're going to talk about managing or starting a poultry farm as a business person. Yes, there are two ways to start a poultry farm as a business person. Okay, number one is depending on the aspect of the poultry farm you're going into. Okay, so first of all, if you are still a business person and you are thinking, should I start a poultry farm and should I not start? I have the passion, but currently I don't have the time. Like, I don't have time. You actually have the time. Here is how to do it, and here is the tactics of on how to go. First of all, if you're planning to start a broiler farm, okay, good and fine, you can get your beds, and make sure, if you're a business person, make sure you don't get those beds at day old, because you definitely not have the time to take care of those beds. You can get them maybe when you're about 1 or 2 weeks. They might be less cheaper. At least they've brought them up for you. They have moved up a bit. They can't really be affected with so many diseases, unlike day old, and they will not hold you down. You have the time to do what you want to do. So this is the trick. You just figure out the amount of beds you plan to keep. Yes, I can be of a great help to you. Yes, then you can figure out the amount of beds you want to keep. I will tell you the spacing structure. You can just start very small, maybe with 10 or 15 beds. You can grow from there. It depends on what you want to do. It depends on your capacity. Yes, so I'll help you do the numbering of the drinkers and the feeders you are to get, to make sure these beds are okay, to have a regular water supply for these beds, and the actual total bags of feed you get for them to maturity stage. That is for broiler if you have to sell. So you can bring these beds in. Just do a cage. You don't have to build a house, because there are still small numbers, maybe 10 or 15 like that, and I assure you that you do very well. And this is the trick. You're going to win the market. Definitely you have to win the market. You have to get customers knows you, that you keep chickens. Definitely you go to work, whereby heading to work in the morning you have to wake up late. So that is just the penalty for this type of farming. You must be as a business person, you're accumulating your money. You're also getting money from the broiler business you're doing. You get your broilers, you get your feeds, you get your drinkers in place. You calculate the ratio of the total feed you're supposed to give those birds in a day. I can help you do that only when you're willing to start. You dropped it in the comment section. I'll help you do the calculation of the total feed you have to give these birds in a day. So you get a feeder just like mine. This type of feeder here, you get something like this. Definitely those birds, when you do the calculation, you put it in here and you are off to work. You put your water. You don't have to get the automatic drinkers like this. You just have to get the normal drinkers. Yes, you don't have to get, this is what I mean, you don't have to get something like this automatic drinker. Yeah, because you're still starting small. All right, so you just get the normal drinker like this. You have to get that drinker, then you place your water in there, then you place it above a stone to avoid coccidiosis as usual. Then you're off to work. You're going and coming. Yes, you make sure this everywhere is very okay. The ventilation is good. Yes, and these beds, You can keep it in your compound. If you have a fenced place, good and fine. If you have somebody that's home that's not doing anything, can be watching them for you, you lock the place and you're off to work. If you want to start a layer farm, you can go to the market, look for a place people supply layer beds. You can get those like beds of point of lay or about to lay. You get those beds like 10 or 15. Yes, when you get those beds 10 or 15, at this point, I will advise you to get a higher number, maybe 20. Depends on what you want. I'm not actually trying to push you. I'm just actually trying to tell you, because over the time you said, oh, I was supposed, or had it been I know, I would have gotten a higher number. You are working this regular flow of cash coming into your pocket every day, depending on what you do. You might be coming in on a monthly basis, you might be coming in on a weekly basis. Get those point of lay, put them in the cage, 10, 15, 20. Feed them. Their feeding will not be that much. They are above sickness. They won't sick that much. They won't get more sickness. You get your feeder, the same type of feeder. You get the same type of drinker, bigger, at least 4 liters drinker. You put it, you put your water. I will do the calculation for you. You still know the amount of feed you're supposed to give those particular birds in a day. You get a few vaccination or a few vaccine, and you are off to work. You feed those birds. When you feed them, make sure you have to wake up very early. You do that before you are off to work. You put the feeders there, you put the water there, then you are off to work. Definitely, you can start from there. You don't have to fear. You just have to take the risk. You don't have to fear. Set fear aside. If you are willing to start, this is only when you are willing to start. I'm going to give you an idea here. You are going to win the market over time. Yes, you have to win the market. Before you come back, before you off to work, you feed those birds. Yes, when you come back from work, depending on the time you're coming back, you check on those birds like that. As time goes on, you are going to work. These birds are adding in age. Definitely, you are getting there. You are feeding them. Make sure the ventilation is 4-way flow. The air is coming in and going out. Yes, you can actually use sawdust. Once you are willing to start, I'm going to show you a way that you have to put a wire mesh under your cage to make sure the droppings don't stay on the cage. The droppings stay under. So over time, you win this market. Once your birds start laying, you dedicate those Saturdays for supplying of eggs. And I assure you, doing this, you're definitely going to win. You start from there and grow way big. You win the market. That is the most important thing. You get people know you before you actually plan to quit your job over time. Or if you definitely don't want to quit, good and fine. This is a side hustle. You can do this as a side hustle to earn extra cash. And I advise you, if you do this, by doing this, you will definitely win. That's assured. You are going to win. You've cut down costs. You've cut down some time. You've cut off some risk. You've got people know you. You've won the market. You've met customers. You've met with people. You're still doing your work. It's just like a side hustle. So guys, I assure you, if you're willing to do this, let me know in the comment section. Then I can help you start your journey. Thank you, and do have a wonderful day.